Most people don't fail their goals because of discipline. They fail because they can't see them clearly enough to act. Today, I'm showing you the exact system I'll be using to make my goals impossible to ignore. If you've ever made a vision board that felt inspiring but somehow stopped influencing your daily decisions, this video is going to be for you because it isn't about aesthetics, it's about execution. You can't escape. By the end of this video, you'll know why I stopped relying on my Pinterest-pinned aesthetics, how I turned the 12-week year into a physical system, and how you can build this vision board for less than a store-bought whiteboard. So make sure you watch this all the way through, and if intentional planning and disciplined growth are your thing, go ahead and subscribe now. You're going to want to see what's coming next. Here's the part I had to admit out loud. I am not a digital planner girly. No spreadsheets, no apps, no digital vision boards. If I can't write it down, move it around, and see it big as cuff, it probably won't stick. And once I accepted that, I noticed that everything started changing because instead of trying to force myself into someone else's productivity system, I decided I wanted to build one that actually works for how I think and operate. Let's shop vision board supplies. I went to my nearest Lowe's home improvement store to get most of my supplies, which I'll have linked in the description. This board looks expensive, but I built it for less than a store-bought whiteboard, which for this size could cost upwards of at least $157. I'll show you just how I made this board and how you can make your own as well. I started with whiteboard material from Lowe's, simple, clean, and effective. For the trim, I cut 45-degree angles using leftover pieces from a flip property I worked on, which you can check out in my Genuine Lifestyling series linked above. I cut the trim using the miter box, though full transparency, using my miter saw would have been faster. I just couldn't find it in my junky garage. And here's where I wasn't sure if this would actually work, but I attached the trim using wood glue only. No nails, no screws, and I fully expected this to be a we'll see what happens moment. But it ended up holding, and yes, I am super proud of myself. Though I will say I do not recommend using wood glue on things that aren't meant for wood glue. It just worked out for me for now. I'll let you know how it holds up. While the trim dried, I mapped out the layout, and this is where most people lose the power of the system, because the 12-week year isn't just planning, it's focus. Instead of mapping an entire year, you treat one quarter like it's a full year. That means fewer goals, clear priorities, and faster feedback. For this board, I only planned quarter one, and this is where my list of 300 goals became useful, not overwhelming. I intentionally pulled items that aligned with this season. If you're just starting, don't rush this. Thoughtful planning is part of discipline. I actually go deeper into this mindset shift on my Substack, which is linked below if you want to explore it further. Once the trim was dry and the layout was clear, I grabbed my big ruler, only because I could not find my laser level because it is somewhere in that garage. I cannot find anything in there. But anyway, use whatever you have to get a straight edge. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. I taped off each section carefully, creating space for weekly planning, sticky notes, adjustments, and reflection because flexibility matters. For labeling, I used vinyl letters and tape, and full disclosure, this part was a bit tedious. But we operate in excellence over here at Relaunch in Color, so take your time. This board isn't just a tool, it's a daily reminder of who you're becoming. And for me, that is more discipline. What's it actually?
I thought you dropped it.
I wanted to take a moment to show you that taping off your 12-week year plan vision board is a tedious task, but it's truly worth it. You're turning a big, overwhelming goal into weekly action that you can actually follow, and it's a simple way to stay disciplined without necessarily relying on motivation because you're building a planning system that you see and use every single day. Now, for my vision board, I pretty much just want to make my goals impossible to ignore. So some of the sections that I decided to include was anchoring scripture for the entire year because this is faith-based for me, as well as having a top 3 priority section for the week, and then family focus, amongst some other things that I'll include right here on the screen that you can use for ideas for your vision board. Now, this section right here, this is all about those small wins. So I like to just make sure I color in my squares for the time I spent with God, the time I worked out, the time that I spent reading one of my books. So this is a great way just to have that visual in front of you constantly. And like I said, basically, you're building a planning system that you see and use every single day, and you're making your goals impossible to ignore. We're no longer just planning pretty. Instead, we're starting to execute with intention. We are aligning our daily actions with the life we say we want. If this video resonated with you, like, comment, and share it with someone else. And don't forget to subscribe to Relaunch in Color, where we DIY and live a genuine lifestyle. So for the most part, my 12-week year board is done. See that right there? Done. I've already started planning out another week and gonna start filling my board in, including my workouts and my time with God. Got to get that book in. Where are you?